here. We've got Vavae Malepeai, Isaiah Pola-Mao, and Coach Helton. We'll ask Coach to make some opening comments, and then we'll take questions.
First, before I get started, I want to respect the day and honor and respect those that lost their lives on this day 20 years ago. The families that lost loved ones, and honor and respect to the men and women that served our country fighting for our freedoms after that terrible day. Obviously, a very well played game by Stanford. Credit to David Shaw and his team. They came in extremely well prepared. I thought they executed their game plan tremendously well. Quarterback played exceptional as a young person and really didn't make any mistakes. Didn't have the unforced errors. When you look at it across the board, they beat us in every phase. They beat us, as like we said in there, in each and every phase. You look at the execution they executed us, and when you look up, we did not do what we did in the first game. We got beat in penalties. We got beat on third down efficiency, and we get beat in the turnovers. We didn't get turnovers. It's something that our team, I could tell in that locker room how bad it hurt them, which is a good thing. I know it's something that they're going to come back and work extremely hard on to go try to get 1-0 for next week. It is early in the season. It is something that when you lose to a North team, you have to bounce back. And like I told them in there, all their dreams are still out there. But we have to do our job and get back to going 1-0 on the week. And we've got some things to clean up from this football game. I'm proud of the two men that stayed beside me right here as captains. I thought their performance through quarter one all the way through quarter four, and their leadership especially all the way through that game really stood out to me. But at the end of the day, we'll watch this tape, we'll get it cleaned up, and we got to come back to work on Tuesday and go get the next one. With that, we'll take any questions that you have.
Coach,
How much
you
of
were
this?
very complimentary of your man-to-man coverage last week. How did that length, that wide receiver, make that difficult tonight?
I credit their skilled players and the quarterback. I thought that he threw extremely accurate balls that gave his kids chances to make plays, and especially on the outside. I thought he did a tremendous job on the back shoulder balls, something that we worked on during the week, and they out-executed us. I thought he did a nice job of seeing leverage sometimes inside and pulling the trigger and getting the ball out before the safeties could get there. I thought he played like an experienced player. I was extremely impressed with his performance. Credit to David for preparing him from game one to game two. He stepped in here and had a heck of a game.
Clay, you heard the fan frustration out there. What is your message to them about the trajectory of where things are going?
It's early in the season. We lost our first conference game. I look forward to seeing the production of our team through an entire season, and looking forward to seeing where we add up at the entirety of a season. Obviously, this is a step back, from last week's performance, but something that I know our kids will react from. And I hope our fans, and I know they'll support our players. Our fans love this university, and they love these players. And we'll do our job. We'll come back out and we'll continue to get wins and add them up, and we'll see where we are at the end of the season. I know it'll be a successful season at the end. Like I told them in the locker room, you never want this to happen ever. But if when it's an early one in the season, you can live through it, but you got to correct it extremely fast.
Clay, how do you explain that regression from week 1 to week 2?
Very easily. I thought we got behind in the penalties early. That set us back. You look, we're 4-14 on third downs, which ended drives. And we really, when you look at it, gosh, it felt like we just played on the long field all night. 16 play, 95-yard drive, and then you come back, it's like a 14 play, 90-yard drive. We didn't get the turnovers, we didn't get the field position, and that's credit to them. I thought they played great special teams. They pinned us deep in special teams. They didn't make the critical error in turning the ball over, and they outplayed us tonight. This is reality. They outplayed us.
Clay, penalties have been a problem throughout your entire head coaching tenure. Why does that continue to be a problem season after season, game after game?
Well, I think we had 4 last week. I think we won the penalty battle last week. We lost it today. Let's see how it goes through the entirety of the season. I thought I'm not going to agree with every call tonight. I didn't. But tonight the penalties were not on our side. But I hope that we look more like game 1 last week, which I thought was an extremely clean game. I hope we get back to that in a hurry.
It's still only week 2, and we understand that, but is the offense where it should be in the third year under the same offensive coordinator with a third-year starting quarterback?
One of the things that really hit home to me tonight, like I said, I really thought the long field hurt us a little bit offensively. When you're having those that many play number of drives, things happen. Whether all of a sudden you have a misassignment or maybe it's a penalty that sets back. The one thing that I'll gauge from this tape is it didn't feel like we had as many explosive plays as we had in week 1, and credit to Stanford on that. It's a 28-point night, which is usually not us. We're usually 35 plus. But I do think there are some positives and some minuses that come out of this tonight. I continue to see our runners and the run game will continue to improve. I thought we really missed some opportunities in the pass game. I thought we missed a couple in the red zone that I thought were there, and that ended up being a big portion of the game, a big 10-point swing. And credit to them, they had a couple explosive plays that really separated us early, and that the long run, as well as the explosive pass in the 2-minute drill, really set a 2-point score game, or 2-score game off those 2 explosive plays.
Clay, I know this is only one game, but a lot of the same issues have come up last year, the year before that. At what point in your mind do you think more extreme measures are required in terms of making a change?
Making a change where?
Just in terms of with what you do with your staff or with the direction of where the team is going?
Let's see at the end of the year. Let's see at the end. It's game 2. It's game 2. Right. And I have total faith in this staff. I have total faith in the men that are in there, players, coaches. We didn't play our best tonight, but I know this: at the end of the season, see where we're at. See where we're at. I would ask for. I hope that we look up at the end of the year and you ask the question, man, this team really improved from that game 2.
Clay, this is the 7th time in eight games that the offense hasn't scored a touchdown in the 3rd quarter. How do you explain that trend?
Say it one more time.
This is the 7th time in 8 games that the offense hasn't scored a touchdown in the 3rd quarter. How do you explain that trend?
I did not know that, to be honest with you. I do feel that Graham does a wonderful job of being able to diagnose what's going on, and it's really not even at halftime. It's really after each and every series. He does a good job of communicating not only with the guys in the box, but the offensive line coach down low. And there were even some adjustments that were made tonight that I thought in the run game that were really good. We actually had, Keaton checking, one side of the run to the next, and I thought that's where the run game really got effective. So I thought the communication was there, and I do think that from drive to drive, he does do a really good job of communication, identifying what we need to do next, adapting, and then communicating that with our players.
For Vavae and Isaiah, what's the main thing you take away from this game?
For defense, at least, I think we just have to execute better. Coach T.O. calls any call, honestly, we just have to make it happen. Regardless if it's right or wrong, we have to go out there and execute. And our defense thrives on turnovers, and we didn't get any tonight, so I think we just have to step up as players and just execute better.
I feel like the same thing. Even Coach Helton said it earlier. Execution. all around special teams, defense, and as a team, really. And one of the biggest things I feel like we just gotta pay attention to the details and bring a lot of juice to the game. You know, Coach Harold always say the most excited team wins. And credit to Stanford tonight, they executed well. But from our point, we just gotta do better, make sure we get everything detailed out.
Clay, Stanford took points off the board early tonight and went for it and got the touchdown. How surprised were you that they did that, and how important how important was that in your mind for the game?
You know, credit to David. You know, it was unfortunate we're offsides on a field goal, and you know that goes half the distance, gets it down I think to the 2-yard line, he obviously dialed up a great play off the play action and was able to hit the arrow or the flat route. You know, obviously he's on the road, coming off a loss. I thought he was aggressive tonight in his play calling. Did a nice job all the way around, and really put his trust in a young quarterback. And the young quarterback did a heck of a job. I got to give him credit. I was extremely impressed with his play all night, and you can see the faith that he has in him on that 4th down to be able to go for it in that situation.
So one more.
Clay, when so many issues pop up on a night like this, what's the most concerning one to you?
You know, 109 yards and penalties. I thought that sustained drives for them put us back offensively a couple times. I don't agree with that. I just, after coming off a game that was so clean and then going back and having a night where you have 9 penalties, that's something that we don't. That's the one that really sticks to me, is those unforced errors off the penalties.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.